Hey guys, this is Ben. Been using John's sheets for about a year or two now, so just wanted to give a quick little shout out to John for putting these together for us every day. I just really feel like you can beat this with data, and I just love crunching numbers. And this is the way that I've done it. Um, I was looking at this differ column, and I was just kind of taking lines that had the biggest numbers. But then I started looking at it some more, and I wanted to know relative to the prop line, like how much this average is different from this prop line percentage wise. So what John was nice enough to do was he add this little percentage column here to figure out like how much bigger this 16.2 is than the 13.5 as a percentage. So basically what I do every day is I go to his DK props tab and I like to sort this largest to smallest, so I can kind of get an idea of like the difference, the biggest percentage wise difference of these prop lines versus the average. So I kind of just filter out the 0.5s because, those have way too much variance and I just don't have any interest in doing those kind. So I'm going to take away all those. So it kind of narrows the list down a bit. So what I've been basically doing is making this kind of my initial pool of players that I'm kind of targeting. And you can kind of see a lot of the first ones that come up are 3-pointers. So basically what I try and do is I try and kind of go down the list and kind of see percentage wise if I like to play. So, like, for example, like Conley has averaged 2.63s a game, so he's beaten his line a bunch of times, and his line's only 1.5. So the percentage, he's averaging almost over a full 3-pointer over his line over the past 5 games. So I was thinking about taking this yesterday, but I didn't because I looked over here and noticed that the DVP wasn't great. I didn't love that his position, Philly defends the three really well versus his position. So I faded that one. So just because it's the highest percentage on there doesn't mean that it's a lock to take. So this one actually did not even hit. And then I went down the list, and Kyle Lowry, again, like he seems to be beating his average. The average is beating the line by a full 3, but I didn't love, that, Orlando, being a good defense, they don't, give up a lot of threes either to his position. So I kind of skipped that one as well. And then I went down to Patrick Williams and same thing. And I noticed, that DVP was pretty decent. So I ended up actually taking that one yesterday, and he did hit. He actually had three-pointers last night. So that one definitely hit. And then I just keep going down the line. So I for Hunter, didn't have a great DVP. I faded that one. Keegan Murray actually had 3 threes last night. So this one was a little bit riskier because, the variance is a little bigger because he had 2 games in a row with no threes. And all of a sudden he had, 12, which is insane, So that one was, if you feel like risking it. But I actually, I didn't take that one, and it did hit. But you can take away the threes if you want, and you can kind of narrow your list down however you'd like. One thing that I wanted to comment on is in John's video on YouTube, he talked about Kobe White yesterday. So let me see if I can just kind of get the Bulls up there. And I'm just going to look at Kobe White only. So the way that I approached Kobe White last night was I know that John was looking at his PRA and his points, and the difference between his average and his prop line was like 6.7. And that was clearly the best one. I actually ended up taking the rebounds instead. So even though the differ wasn't as big, percentage-wise, I thought the difference was a little bit more significant because this 42 is way more than this 20. So his prop line was at 4.5, but he's been averaging 6.4 over the last 5 games. So if you wrote that as a percentage, it's actually a lot bigger. So the way that I've been approaching these games every day is to kind of look at it from the percentage. And the DVP wasn't, anything that scared me away anyway. Like the Lakers are giving up plenty of rebounds to his position. So I actually took his rebounds prop last night, and I'm pretty sure it hit. So that's kind of the way that I've been approaching every day is kind of just starting with the percentage and then just kind of weeding out as I go. The other thing that I've done is because I also don't like to take players who are role players like away. I don't think they do as well. I also try and avoid spreads that are really, really big. So I'm trying to avoid those blowouts. So what I also actually do is I take all John's, I copy and paste his these DK props, and I put them into a Google Sheet. And then what I do is I kind of have this little filter system set up where as soon as I input this in my Google Sheet, it kind of spits out only players that have a prop line bigger than zero point 0.5. The DVP is bigger than 15. So I have some filter set up where it automatically just sorts through his data and just spits out some guys. So like, and then what I do is I copy and paste it real nice into this log sheet. So yesterday, it only went 3 and 5. Overall, it's hitting at about a 59% clip. But what I do is I kind of like to look at this sheet and then I just start removing ones that I don't like. So like if I notice that there's a role player that's away or the spread's really big or anything like that, I just kind of take the row and I just kind of delete it. And then I'm kind of left with these guys. So these are the ones that I landed on. Only went 3 and 5, but if you look at the day before, same process, it was a clean sweep. So, there's going to be good nights, there's going to be bad nights. But that's my process. That's how I use percentage. And I hope that makes a little bit more sense to you guys now.